Good afternoon, everyone. As everyone knows, earlier today, the club formally announced the signing of Trea Turner to an 11-year contract. And now we are very excited to not only welcome Trea to Philadelphia, but to introduce him as the newest member of the Phillies family. Speaking of family, I'd like to make special recognition of Trea's family that's in attendance here today, beginning with his wife, Kristen, and their son, Beckham, and Trea's parents, Mark and Donna Turner, and Kristen's parents, John and Donna Harabedian. Thank you for being with us. In a few moments, you're going to have the opportunity to hear from Trea, as well as Phillies President of Baseball Operations, Dave Dombrowski, and General Manager Sam Fuld. But at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dave, who's going to make a jersey presentation and some opening remarks.
Well,
Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a very exciting day for the Philadelphia Phillies organization, our fans of the organization. A couple of things to be said. Just before I get into that, I want to offer, and everybody here, the person doing the introduction here had a very special moment at the winter meetings, Kevin Gregg, when he was honored with the Robert Fischel Award for Public Relations Excellence. So congratulations to him. Also, too, and as I'm sure the questions will come in, I do want to send a special, of course, thank you for the person that makes this most responsible happen and for doing what we're doing in our organization and supporting us every step of the way. Is our main person and individual from an ownership perspective is John Middleton. John, thank you very much. Right over there. And also, before I get into the final one, I do want to thank the people that really worked on this contract and made this happen. From Trea's perspective, we had a chance to meet his wife, Kristen, down there in Florida, and Beckham also, and Donna also. But also a special thanks to the CAA group with Jeff Berry, Andrew Nicario. Thank you for making this happen with us and working with us. So without further ado, the special time for us, we're very happy to add to me one of the best players in Major League Baseball, an exciting player, adds so much to our organization, well respected. I can't believe the number of times I've had people, not only now, but over the last few years and for me in my career saying, geez, the most exciting player in baseball I ever watched is Trea Turner. Is there any way you can make Trea Turner a Philadelphia Philly? And fortunately, we're at that spot that we're able to do it. We have some players in our organization that are very helpful in this regard. Trea knows them. I'll let him talk as well as us about it. But a special moment for us to welcome Trea, to me, one of the best players in Major League Baseball. Of course, shortstop for us. And with that, also, we are very fortunate because we also found out that the number he really likes is 7. So we were able to make sure that we had number 7 available. So Trea, welcome, and welcome aboard here. And you look good in that. No question. Congrats.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Oh.
And here's this. This looks pretty good on you
I
too.
don't want to mess with my hair. I did my hair.
Yeah, I called him a couple days ago, and I missed him, and he called me back, and he missed me, and he said, "I'm getting a haircut, so I look good for the press conference." So.
We'll put this right front and center. How about that? Oh yeah, I got a haircut today for you guys. I had a long month for me and Kristen, and it's been a heck of a ride, but we're glad to be here, and it's to these guys' credit and to the guys that you mentioned, John, my agents and all that, and my little one over here yelling at me, but it's been a heck of a month, and we're excited to be here.
All right, well, thank you, Trea. So members of the media, if you have a question, there are microphones on either side of the room. Just raise your hand.
Before we go. I didn't know this many people were going to be here, so bear with me, but I definitely want to thank, obviously, the people in this first row. My wife, she's been, every step of the way with us and our child, and kind of holding it down at home when I'm on the road and whatnot. So she's she's a rock star, and thank you, love you. My in-laws raised a great daughter, and you guys help us out so much. Thank you for all you've done for us, especially this last month. It's been tough, and then my lovely parents, you guys. It's been a long time playing this game, and you guys have brought me around to countless tournaments, countless venues to watch me play at all ages, and from starting when this kid's age in diapers and swinging the bat in the front yard, to college, to professional baseball, and now to here. It's been quite a journey, and you guys have been awesome. We leaned on you a lot in this experience, and we love you guys. So thank you. And there's plenty of coaches and training staff and so many people that have helped me, my friends, my family from home, my sister, helped me in countless ways through the last 29, 30 years, and they're important to me as well, so I definitely don't want to forget them. And it's been a fun ride. We're excited to be here, and we've got a lot of winning to do, a lot of baseball games to play in the stadium, and hopefully many good memories to share with you guys and the Phillies fans and John and everybody, and we couldn't be more happy to be here, so thank you guys.
All right, thank you, Trey. So why don't we start with the questions? We'll start in the back with Jimmy. Next to Howard.
Hi, Trey. It's been right here. It's been reported that you received offers that were even richer than the Phillies offer, and you turned those down to come to Philly. What made the Phillies the team for you? What made Philadelphia the place for you? What were the attractions?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to have some good offers on the table and tough consideration going through it. But me and my wife, we wanted to weigh all options, try to take the process as serious as possible, because we look at it as a partnership between whatever organization we were going to pick and our family. We were kind of looking at it as an all-in, a long time, but we were all in, and we sit down, we talk for a long time. Money wasn't, necessarily the number one option for us. Obviously, it plays a part, but we just pictured ourselves here. I pictured myself in this uniform. She pictured living here and having family come and visit. We pictured playing with, Bryce and Schwarber and a lot of those guys on the team now. Kevin Long. It just seemed like a lot of things added up and pointed us in this direction, and we were excited about it. This place is fun to play. I watched a lot of the playoff games, and this place was rocking. So just a lot of things pointing this direction, and we felt really comfortable and really happy, and we were really excited about it. So a lot of things that.
Okay, we go to Howard on the right here.
Trey, as a honest, down-to-earth guy, and I think that's who you are from everything I've read. The chatter in town is, where is Trea Turner going to hit in the lineup? And I know you have your thoughts, and I know you're going to share them with all of us right now. One or two, and I know you're going to be really, really truthful in all this.
Well, I would say that's not my job. That's these guys' job. So I'll and Rob's job as well. So there, Rob, that's on him. You're gonna have to ask him those questions. But I will say, I did get a phone call this morning from Kyle Schwarber, and he asked me the same question. And I hadn't thought about it much, but you guys got a pretty good leadoff hitter. Or we have a pretty good leadoff hitter in Schwarber, and I don't know. I don't know if he stole a lot of bases last year. He's kind of coming around there. So I don't know if I want to kick him out of there, or I don't know what it may be, but I think it's going to be fun playing in this lineup up from top to bottom. I think there's so many guys that can contribute. So I'm excited. I don't really have a preference, truthfully. I don't really care. But I'm gonna give Schwartz a hard time on that one.
Where have you been the most comfortable in the lineup?
I used to lead off a lot first 5 years of my career, but the last 2 or 3 years I hit second and third, not much lead off. So I'm pretty comfortable anywhere. I told them kind of in the process is I like hitting the same spot every day, trying to learn my job and who's behind me, who's in front of me, and all that, but ultimately we're going to have to get together in spring training, kind of make those decisions, but I'm all ears and just excited to be here.
Thank you, and I'm sure Rob will dance around it too.
Okay, we'll go to Alex on the right.
You mentioned watching the playoff run this season, and I'm wondering how much of a consideration that was in the decision that you ultimately made and what it was like to experience that.
Yeah, no, it was a big factor for sure. I think playing on a winning team was really important, and an organization that wants to try to win championships for not just 1 year but a long time. And John and these guys, Dave, have committed to that, and that was a factor. So to go along with that, you got to perform and you live up to those standards. And the boys did that last year for sure. They were playing really good baseball at the end of the season. It looked not only fun for the players but for the fans. It seemed like there's kind of that family aspect, and they were in it together. And I think that was more what jumped out to me, is how much fun the players were having and the fans together than anything. And you could hear it through your TV how loud the stadium was. And I played here many times, but I don't know if I've ever seen it like that. And rightfully so. I think making World Series and playing at that time of the year is really important and really fun. So it definitely was a consideration.
One second, you mentioned Kevin Long and Bryce. I'm wondering how involved they were in this process and how often you were in touch with them. And
Yeah, Bryce texted me a little bit early on and told me, he was there for us. Any questions? Kristen had been texting Kayla a little bit about that as well. What the lifestyle's like, all that, things you can't really see, on the field. So they answered a lot of our questions, and then the morning of, I called Kevin Long and I said, "What do we got?" And so I talked to him, and I still have questions about the hitting coach. I don't know about
Let
him.
us know if you're comfortable or
Yeah,
not.
I don't know about that, but had a pretty good phone call with him and just what his perspective. And I think a lot of the things he said matched up with what I believed, but it's nice hearing it from the inside. And so I talked to them quite a bit, talked to Schwarber a little bit, but they did a pretty good job of not trying to influence me too much one way or the other. And I think it was kind of our decision, and that was a nice aspect of it. And we're excited to join these guys.
Okay, Scott on the left.
Trey, to
Kendrick, too.
Oh yeah, Allie Kendrick, another one.
Trey, to follow up on Bryce's influence on you. I mean, it's an 11-year contract, so it's probably the rest of your career. He was in that position 4 years ago and chose a rest of his career contract with the Phillies. So did you kind of lean on him for, like, hey, if I'm going to make this decision to spend the rest of my career somewhere, all of my 30s, I want to make sure it's the right place. How much did you really lean on him, given the length of time we're talking about?
Well, that's the kind of approach that me and Kristen took, or Kristen and I took, is we were committed 100% to where we were going to sign. We weren't going to try to do a short-term deal, or I don't know. We weren't trying to get the most money. We were trying to, kind of build a family and be in a spot for a long time. So I know he went through that, and these guys spoke so highly of it here. Not just him, but Schwarber and all these other guys. And we asked those questions. We looked at it from that perspective as well. And so hearing his answers, I think, were important, because, like you said, he did the same exact process. It's not fun, by the way, and I didn't enjoy it very much. It's a tough process. It's hard on you, hard on your family, and when you're making that commitment, you want to do it right. And he was a factor in all of it, and he kind of said the same thing. He said, "I told you it wasn't that fun going through it," but I think we shared a lot of the same experiences and share a lot of the same values and look at it the same way. And he was a good influence on me.
And just for Sam and Dave, when it's a contract of that length, how much do you try to dig into, like the crystal ball of how someone might age over the course of, 9, 10, 11 years in this case?
Well, you do as thorough a job as you possibly can. It's not an exact science, but of course you look at that. We have a lot of people that look at that type of information. We really integrate all that information, and you make your decision in that regard. There's no exact crystal ball, but spend a lot of time doing that and looking at the individual and the talents that's involved. One thing I do think is that you sometimes have to differentiate between a normal big league player and an elite athlete. I do think there are some differences in that regard too, and we have done a lot of research in that regard. So an elite athlete can last longer at their performance level than, say, other individuals can.
Okay, we go to Pat on the right.
Trey, how you doing? It's obviously been a short period of time that you've been here, but outside of the fan base, what is it that you know about the city of Philadelphia?
Honestly, I don't know much. I played here a lot, obviously, but I feel like there's so much more to explore. We've been driving around the city, and I'm connecting things together. Oh yeah, I know that place. I know this place. Had a great dinner last night, and for us, we're pretty simple people, but we enjoy food, and I know this city's got its fair share of good food, so it's going to be finding those little holes in the wall and places that we enjoy. But I got a lot of learning to do, I will admit, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about sharing that sports complex with the other teams. I think that's a really cool characteristic of the city. I don't think that's always the same in other cities, and kind of sharing that sports atmosphere. I know this is a sports town, and we love our sports here. So I'm a football guy. I watch hockey. I like it all, and I think that's going to be another cool experience for me, going to those games, basketball games, and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to that. So need to find the food spots. Any recommendations? I'm listening, and then sharing sports with everyone here. I think it's going to be really fun.
Okay, go to Tom in the back left.
Trey, with the game of baseball changing the way it is, how important was it for you to find a place where you could evolve even as a shortstop because of the shift and everything that's going on with Major League Baseball in the near future?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot last year. I thought at shortstop, and I'm excited to kind of apply those things going forward. I think I have a lot of improvement at short. I think I can play much better than I have, and it's going to be putting the work in and actually doing it. Obviously, eventually you gotta prove it, but I want to prove it more to myself than anything. I think I could play at a really high level, and I think that process will never end. I think I'll always be trying to get better, especially defensively. Like he said, I think I could play for a long time, using my athleticism and learning my body and all that. I think we'll continue to get better, and I think that'll help me there. So I'm excited about the future, excited to get back on the field from a defensive standpoint, because I think I got more room for growth there for sure.
You've obviously been in the World Series. How much can you add to what this team has gone through this year to advance to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to win that time of year because you're playing such good competition, right? But I think that the good teams I've been on, we've loved each other. We loved hanging out. We loved doing things together, and those are kind of the things I talked about earlier. That's what this ball club had. So hopefully, from a baseball standpoint, I can obviously add to it. I would hope, but just from a clubhouse standpoint, I think I'll fit in great here and kind of continue that chemistry that these guys had last year. I think that's really important. That's how you make deep runs. That's how you when you're not playing well in June and July, that's how you get through it, is because you want to be together. So I want to add to the baseball aspect, obviously, but I'm looking forward to being in that clubhouse with those guys.
Matt in the back right.
For Dave or for Sam, I wonder how important that postseason experience that Trey was in this process of identifying him as the right guy to add.
Well, I think it's extremely important. Last year, we focused on, we had a talented group of individuals going into the 2022 season, and one of the goals that we had was trying to add somebody who had been through a championship caliber team and won a world championship. And I think it meant a lot for us to bring Kyle Schwarber on board at that time. I think he added a different perspective, not only from an ability perspective, but in the clubhouse. And Trey brings that same mentality. So I think it's extremely important for us to bring people on board when possible that have that championship caliber, that championship attitude, and the experience in winning it. So a big difference maker for us.
Okay, Todd in the middle left.
Hey, Trey. We had heard from the beginning that you were the team's #1 choice as far as the shortstops, and I'm wondering if you have any memory of early on in the process, hearing from Dave, Sam, anybody, Jeff, about their interest where you went, wow, these guys really want me bad.
No, yeah, that was the first meeting we had. They came down to our house in Florida and sat at the table and talked and tried to get to know one another and whatnot. And I told them I want to be honest with you, and all I ask of you is you just be honest with me. I didn't really care to play the games and all that. And he told me right then and there was that I was their #1 target. He goes, you're looking at other players, obviously, because they have a job to do, but he had told me that. So, I mean, from right then and there, I expected them to, come after us hard and try to do everything they could to get us in a Phillies uniform. And, I took them seriously from the get-go. And like I said, I just asked them to be honest with me, and they were, and turned out. And here we are now. So.
So when they leave your house and you talk to your wife, what's the reaction? Is like, wow, that, obviously you were impressed, I guess, but do you remember any part of that conversation?
Well, I know my wife was very excited because growing up in Flemington, New Jersey is not too far from here. So from a family aspect, I know she was super excited. She said time and time again that she was kind of leaving the baseball side of it up to me. So I'd ask the baseball questions and whatnot, but the family side was a lot of her doing, and we were kind of teammates in this. So we weighed all the pros and cons, like I said, and I think the family aspect was a big factor for us. And you learn that through these meetings. You learn how much family means to these guys, to John, to Bryce, and Schwarber, and other players with kids on the team. You ask them about their experiences, and I remember she was excited very early on about the possibility of this, and so was I from a baseball standpoint. But you got to do your homework and ask your questions, and it added up.
And then how many other in-person meetings did you have with other teams?
I had a few. I don't know what I am and I'm not allowed to say, or what, I don't know. I had more than one, but I thought it was important because like I said, I wanted to do my homework. I wanted to find out, what people are like, and get into a face-to-face conversation and learn one another. And I think that was a big plus for us in the process, was sitting down with teams and actually talking it through.
Okay, Alex on the right.
Trey, you mentioned that the team chemistry seemed really strong. I'm wondering what gave you that impression. Was it just something that you saw during the playoff run, or something that you heard from the members of the Phillies that you know? And
I think it's more, you can see it. I mean, it's hard to fake that. You can see guys in the dugout and on TV. Obviously, you talk to these guys, and Kevin Long, Schwarber, Bryce all said how good the clubhouse is and how good the guys are. But I think you can see it from far too. Playing against them, you can see it, but you can see it on the TV as well, and it's very noticeable. And I think it's special when that happens. It's hard to do because every year, right? You think it's a new team, new players, so it's hard to do every year. But last year I think the guys definitely had it going on for sure.
then second, it seems like the plan is to move Bryson Stott over to second, and I'm wondering if you've had a chance to chat with him yet.
He messaged me on Instagram real quick, so I texted him my number and said, if you need anything, let me know, and I'm sure we'll be talking in the future. So he just kind of said congratulations. He's excited, for me to get over here. So I'm looking forward to meeting him, talking to him, and kind of sharing the middle infield with him. But I haven't got a chance to really sit down or text with him and call him or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, Matt, back left.
Trey, you know your body better than anyone. This contract takes you through, I think, your age 41 season. What gives you confidence that your skill set, you can be a productive player into your 30s? Why do you think you'll age well on the field?
I mean, I could talk for a long time on this. I don't know. I bet on myself all the time. That's kind of why me and my family are in this situation. Is I kind of bet on myself every step of the way, and I'm a competitor. I hate losing, whether it's, a board game, whatever it may be. I don't like losing. So I think I'm going to compete for as long as I possibly can at the highest level I can, and I'll just bet on myself every step of the way. And, I put effort into it, whether it's, in the weight room, the training room, the batting cage, wherever it may be. I put effort into it, and I take it seriously. So I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't plan too far ahead, maybe other than this contract, but I don't plan too far ahead. I try to focus on the day, and I think that, focusing on what's right in front of you, I think will help you in that long run. So that's kind of how I view it.
Anything additional for Trey, Dave, or Sam? All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dave, Trey, Sam.
You guys, appreciate you.
All right.
Good job. Nice work.
Okay.